Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of The Movie Hoppers. And if you are, for some reason, interested in Movie Hoppers shirts, text at Hopshirt, one word, at Hopshirt to 81010 for more information. But most of you, if not all of you, don't care about that. So we're just going to get on to this review of, okay. I
Mm-hmm.
think in adults, which we are, legally,
Uh-huh.
don't get any ideas, um, can admit when they are wrong.
Yeah.
I think that we were not planning on reviewing this movie. We weren't planning on
No.
seeing this movie until 5 minutes before we saw it.
Exactly.
A series of unfortunate events. We were going to see Inception. Inception broke. We were going to see Cutthroat City. That was too crowded. God wanted to prove us wrong. And you know what? So he's a spiteful fucker, but when he's right, he's right. And despite the trailers,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Words on Bathroom Walls, and I will shout that from the highest mountain because it was good.
It was good.
Yes.
I was genuinely surprised by how much I enjoyed this movie compared to how much I thought I would enjoy this movie
It's like,
before we saw it.
yeah, I mean, we both saw this trailer. I forget why we looked it up, probably because it sounded stupid.
Yeah.
And it kind of looked like another illness porn,
It absolutely misrepresents itself in all the advertising.
yeah, it's weird because most advertisements they show the best parts of the movie, but this one almost like hides everything
Hmm.
unique and interesting
Which
about the
I'm not
movie.
mad about. I'm like not mad about that
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
what a this movie. It's not the best movie in the world. I'm not even sure if it's a great movie, but it reminds
Hmm.
me of why I love movies and why I love the movies. It's
Hmm.
because you get movies like this that you go in thinking it's gonna suck, it's gonna be awful. You only watch it because you want something to do because you're already there. You have to see something. That's
Hmm.
the only reason why you watch it, but you exit being very satisfied. And if this was released on video on demand, I would have never seen it. Never.
Yeah.
We would have never seen it.
Yeah.
That's why I just love going to the movies, and that's why I see They're like, why did you see that movie if you didn't think you were gonna like it? I now have an example. Words on
Hmm.
Bathroom Walls.
Yeah.
It was, uh, it was a shake-up, in my opinion, of the illness porn genre, like 5 Feet Apart,
Hmm.
which accurately predicted a lot of recent events. And was the fucking okay one?
Oh,
Fault
Fault
in
in
Our
Our
Stars.
Stars.
Yeah, Fault in Our Stars.
Hmm.
I didn't see Fault in Our Stars, but
I
five.
did.
My main problem with 5 Feet Apart, which is not a problem with this movie, is that it relies way too heavily on the relationship itself.
Yes.
I don't care about that. I don't care.
Yeah.
This movie, you get the relationship plays second fiddle. It's not
Exactly.
the the people who made this movie. Their thought process wasn't, oh, let's make a romance movie. Oh, but let's have the guy have an illness to make it interesting. It's
Hmm.
let's make a movie about a guy with an illness, and now let's have a romance to flesh out his character. That's how it should be done.
Yeah.
It was done very well. The main character was focused on, which I really enjoyed. You don't see
Hmm.
that a lot. And I've just been gushing. You go. Say your thing.
I don't know what to say because I just everything that you've already said. Um, yeah, I thought this was going to be like I Still Believe, but with
Mm-hmm.
less Jesus. And then while watching it, I thought it was going to turn into a secret Jesus movie,
Uh
which thank God it didn't. Um,
huh. That's irony right there.
um, but I was really I don't know. I don't like these kinds of movies. I don't. But I think I liked it more because like you said, the relationship isn't the story. It's just part of it, you know? Like
Yeah. It.
go ahead.
Well, didn't I say this in my unhinged review actually?
What?
Our unhinged review actually. I said this though that you said that you don't like movies like Unhinged, And
Uh-huh.
I said, well, that's because most movies like Unhinged are bad and lazy, and I brought up romantic comedies as an example. And here we are. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't think you would like this movie. I didn't think I would like this movie. That's
Yeah.
just because most movies like this aren't done well, but this one is done well.
You can tell that they put effort into this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it wasn't just a throwaway, you know?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if this is an accurate representation of schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have schizophrenia. I don't know anyone who has schizophrenia.
Right.
Do you have or know of anyone who has schizophrenia?
No, but I did look up I like looked it up online,
Mm-hmm.
like the movie after we saw it. And people were saying that they like thought it was like just not I don't know if it's an accurate representation still because it's just people online, but people were saying that they appreciate it and that like they think it's a good thing to have out there, so
Really?
I don't know.
Well, that's good.
I don't know though. Don't take my word for it, so.
But even if it's not, you can basically apply the situations in this movie to basically anyone.
Yeah.
Despite this character having an illness that most people don't have any experience with, I was personally able to constantly relate to this character and feel for him.
Yeah.
Everybody always at some point in their life feels a bit different, feels like they, aren't deserving of love, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's what this movie is. And I don't know.
Yeah. I really like this movie.
Yeah. It's just, maybe it's the fact that I expected it to be bad, but
yeah.
it was quite good, and there are religious aspects of it. The way this movie treats religion, I feel like, is really respectful, but at the same time not intrusive.
Yeah.
It's very, very interesting take on that.
I think if you wanted to get a religious message out of it, you could, but it doesn't have to be that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It very, very, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't, even when we decided we were going to watch this movie, I didn't think we were going to do a review on it, but I feel like I kind of have to, not me personally, I guess, as a way to apologize for questioning the quality of this movie just based on the trailer. I mean, this movie has good reviews. We didn't even bother looking it up past the trailer.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's quite frankly very surprising. From the very first scene, actually. Well, I don't know about the first scene. Well, the first part of this movie is like this. Okay, I'm gonna just describe the experience sitting in the theater. So the movie starts, and the name of the movie comes on like this really weird, like drawling way. I was like, oh god.
I was like about to be like, no, absolutely not. We're not doing this.
Yeah, it was a bunch of like teen movie bullshit. It was dumb. And then it showed like this pretty bad CG like I guess brain thing. Like neuro thing, and I was like, oh my god. This isn't gonna be good. And then it cut to this guy like talking in the second person to the audience, but kind of also to a therapist. And I was like, oh my god.
You're right.
And then he said like something dumb, like, some stupid line like it's a shit sandwich full of blah blah blah, and I was like, oh my god. Oh no. And then we actually got to I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah.
But I think a casting choice actually made me.
We're like exploding in our seats.
Now, I don't watch movies for the actors. I could give less of a shit. But it was a sign that maybe, just maybe, I haven't figured this movie out. That I didn't know what was going to happen, and this movie has some surprises for me. And that was like, the spark. And just from then on, this movie just excelled, and it defied my extremely low expectations.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I don't know. I think that jeez. Just also that casting choice was definitely in the trailer, and we just were not paying enough attention.
Yeah.
So I watched it again.
We didn't give it the time of day. You watched it again? He was in there? No way.
Yeah,
No way.
I was just looking at it. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong again. Who knows? I didn't get all the way through because I was like, I just fucking watched this movie. But I think the like schizophrenia stuff, like I like that they actually like let you see that from his perspective, because if it was just like, yeah, I have schizophrenia, and like you don't get to see any of that, it's like that would make the movie exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that they like did the effects for that and like really like made you understand, you know, what was going on for him, and made it more like focused around him and what's going on in his mind, then like you could really understand how he felt, and like how nobody else was like really caring about like what's going on in his whatever. I don't know what to say,
it makes it easier to connect with the character.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree with that. Another interesting part of this movie I found that I mentioned after we saw it was the directing. Something I noticed is when two characters were talking, there was not, I still don't know the name. There's like a name for it, like when it shows one character's face, when it cuts to another, and that's like the whole conversation.
I was gonna look that up, but I forgot.
I tried looking it up, but I couldn't get the right combo, you know, the right search or whatever, shot to shot maybe. But
that's what I was thinking, but I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't sound exactly right, but I'm just gonna call it shot to shot, shot one, shot two, you know, that kind of thing. This movie doesn't do that, which I found very interesting, because usually in movie, you know, teenage rom-coms, the directors don't care. They just take the lazy way out. This movie actually has some interesting shots in it, which was... that was very surprising. And, I mean, yeah, it was interesting to look at. And the actual... another thing I thought from the trailers was that the actual schizophrenia, nightmares, delusions, whatever you want to call it, would be cheesy, uninteresting, you know, stupid.
I was scared. I was scared. Sometimes.
It did a good job. It did better.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the best CG in the world, but it gets the job done. So, who cares? Especially the part where he flicks the pill. That wasn't good CG, but whatever. This isn't, you know, supposed to be an action movie. It's the effects are a means to an end, and it did it.
And I think the movie did a good job of like not being super predictable. Like, of course, it's there's the relationship still there, and all these movies with the fucking relationships all go the same, so like whatever. But because the relationship wasn't the main focus of the movie, it's not like I know exactly how this is gonna go.
Yeah, there were, I have some problems with the ending, which I'll get into in the designated spoiler talk. But overall, I was I was really happy with how the story went. Like, not even just... not from like a character perspective, from you know, I just enjoyed it. And just the relationship not being front and center was like crucial to this. And another thing I expected, which was a big problem with Unhinged and I Still Believe, since you brought that up earlier, I thought the acting was going to be bad.
Oh yeah.
But it was actually... I think it was pretty good across the board. I don't think I had any problems. Yeah,
I think the main actor's voice just sounds kind of goofy. So like I think that's why I expected him to be awful. But I think he did a good job. He just sounds weird.
And everyone in this movie can cry, which is a one-up on I Still Believe.
Amazing.
Wait, is that the guy who played... is that the guy who played in My Friend Dahmer? No.
No.
I was
Ross
gonna.
Lynch.
No,
Excuse
okay.
you.
I was gonna say they made a Dharma reference. I thought that'd be funny, but no.
Rude. Rude.
I've never seen that movie, but
Neither have I, but don't insult Ross Lynch.
oh, okay. Wow. But yeah, I mean, I don't really have any major like overarching throughout the entire movie problems,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good thing. I I'm glad that fate brought us to this movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was better than having to sit through 2 hours and 42 minutes of a silent film.
yeah.
Um,
We'll talk about that at the end, just so we don't get people dropping out. But
right.
yeah, there's a story, but yeah, I mean,
I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie, and I think it's worth a watch.
I was too. And do you have anything else to say before we get into spoiler talk?
No.
If you're sold on the movie, go see it. Or wait till it comes out on video if you can't. Um, but we are gonna get into spoiler talk if you don't care if you've already seen it. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So, the ending of the movie is when it kind of
Mm-hmm.
gets defined by the whole romance part.
Yeah.
Um, there there is some things I like about this movie. Has a pretty long third act.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like it kind of does like a bait and switch where like this guy has a problem. Oh, he solves the problem, and usually
Mm-hmm.
usually in movies the climax is right after the lowest point in the character's journey. But
Mm-hmm.
this movie has two lowest points, which kind of, I guess, subvert expectations, as Mr. Rain Johnson would say.
Right.
Um, so that's good. I enjoyed the long third act, but the whole. I think it was when he ran out of the hospital
Yeah.
and nobody stopped him. That was like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that was also an issue for me.
Yeah, and the whole taking over the graduation thing.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was all very unrealistic.
that's very much the problem I had with Booksmart, where they
Oh yeah.
the whole
Mm-hmm.
movie, it's obviously not the most realistic thing, but it has like its own rules, and you
Mm-hmm.
throughout the movie you understand what can happen, what can't happen,
Right.
and then in the end it just totally throws that out the window and does whatever it wants, and I don't
Yeah.
enjoy that personally,
Yeah.
that approach, but uh yeah, whatever. I like the last scene with the baby. That was pretty clever, the whole door thing. I like
Oh
that.
yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Roderick is in the movie,
Roderick. Roderick.
and
Roderick King.
I thought he was Klaus
Oh.
at first. I thought that he.
You were freaking out because you thought it was Klaus, and I was freaking out because of Roderick.
I would have still freaked out because of Roderick, but he dresses like Klaus and he looks like Klaus. He has the same like shave. So I thought, huh.
We're talking about the Umbrella Academy.
Yes,
If
for
that...
those uninitiated. Um, I was like, wow, that's. I thought it would be just a cameo at first,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm glad that
Ah.
he came back. But,
Delectable.
yeah, that was pretty
And he's
clever.
like always just in underwear. It's amazing. Anyway.
Yeah, I haven't seen that guy in many movies.
I don't think he does much anymore at all.
That's a shame, huh?
Yeah.
Whatever. But
Because it's very attractive.
and we are talking about the original Roderick for those who think we would care if the
Ew,
new
don't.
Roderick.
I don't even want to. I'm gonna vomit if you don't stop talking.
I remember seeing that movie in theaters.
I refuse.
The Long Haul.
Awful.
But yeah, I mean, pleasantly. Again, I feel like I'm kind of making this movie out to be more than it is.
Right.
It's not the greatest movie of
I
all
guess
time.
it's just because we were so surprised by it because we expected it to be awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not even as much what this oh my god, Roderick with oh my god, why does he look so bad in this picture? Anyway, um it it's not so much uh what this movie is that I love. It's what this movie like. Again, as I said before, it reminds me of why I love movies. So I just like that. I just that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. This movie, and it was well directed. It was well written. It was well acted. Um, you know, and besides the ending, it was pretty non-cliche. It was good, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So did I.
Yeah.
I
The
think I wouldn't have if they didn't include the hallucinations though. Like that's what
mm-hmm.
makes the movie for me.
Yeah, it's pretty yeah, it's good. I liked
Good.
it.
I liked it.
I guess that's I mean, this movie it didn't like feel I guess it didn't feel like fast to me like I know with some movies that I like they like feel like really fast, but this movie kind of feels longer than it is, but that isn't exactly a problem because it's not bad, so
Right.
take that for what it's worth. It's kind of slow at times, I guess, but yeah, just
I don't think I was ever really bored
I
watching it.
I wasn't bored. It was just I guess slower than I expected. But yeah, I wasn't bored. Yeah, just relatable characters. I don't know. It's just good.
Yeah, good.
Do okay, so I haven't had to open up this in a while.
What?
I haven't had to do this in a very, very long
What
time.
is this?
Sometimes you can be too negative in life, but
Oh.
there are also times where you can be too positive. I have aired my grievances about this movie. Limited as they are, I have aired them. This is not the best movie in the world. It's not a perfect movie. There's no such thing. So I assume that you have a problem with the movie, and I think we have to put you in the corner of negativity.
Sure. You know what? Sure. My issue is how the relationship between Paul and the kid, what's his name? Adam? Adam. Is just like fine because of a stupid letter he wrote about not being expelled. Like that doesn't change everything that he did before that. Like he still is talking about like sending him away and shit. Like it just like I'm angry at those kinds of characters, like the dad character just in general. So like I didn't like him and I still didn't like him at the end of the movie. I don't know how he was just able to like completely forgive him or like be chill with him after one fucking letter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's I guess part of the movie where it kind of was like rushing to finish.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, do all the tropes, come on.
And like just because he's like, yeah, so I'm fine now and let me out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, like for some reason he hasn't tried that approach.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I agree with that statement. Could have been a little more fleshed out. This movie, yeah, I said it's slow, but it could have been longer. But I guess they had to do it under 2 hours. I have no clue. The ending, just in general, again, kind of relies on those genre tropes and
right.
Yeah. Um. Let's see. Do you agree with what the parents did in the end of the movie, that being put him in a mental hospital? Do you agree with that move?
I don't know. Personally, I don't know. I have such an issue with like what's right and what's wrong with that, because I'm so for like personal freedom,
Mm-hmm.
and like that stuff just like makes my blood boil, even if I know that it's like for the best.
Uh-huh.
Because I just like hate the feeling of being so restricted.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I don't think I can really say if that was the right thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's a... I don't know if it's supposed to... I don't know. I don't know either. That's why I was asking you. It must be hard to drive if you have schizophrenia.
Oh yeah,
Like,
probably.
how does he drive? Like, I understand, like, after a while, you kind of not get used to, but, more okay with, seeing somebody's head on fire. But
Hmm.
I mean, you must see, like, cars fucking swerving in front of you all the time that aren't there.
Right.
I feel like I'd probably crash.
Hmm. Was
But
he ever driving in the movie? Was he
he
driving?
drove to the prom.
Did he?
I think, I think so. He had to have driven to the right. I
Does he
thought.
not like take the bus? Because wasn't he on the
Oh,
bus?
he does take a bus to the boardwalk.
So
Maybe
why
he
would he
doesn't
not take the
drive.
bus?
Maybe he doesn't drive.
Yeah.
He's a senior. So I guess maybe he can't drive. I don't.
I don't know. I don't think it's explained. I
Yeah,
don't think it's that
whatever.
important
Whatever. It's not
in the
important.
movie.
Um. Yeah. I also like the girlfriend character.
Hmm.
She was good. She was understanding, but not like overly so. Like in some movies like this, the girlfriend character always says the right thing, and that's like
Right.
not possible. And there's some times where she's just like, I don't know what to do, but she's always nice, so that's
Hmm.
good.
I knew immediately that they were gonna have her have that whole like she's actually poor thing. I
Yeah,
like all right, but
yeah.
whatever. It wasn't a big deal.
It wasn't a very big part of the movie. It was basically just like I guess a catalyst. Like she's hiding something, he's hiding something.
Yeah.
They're in the same boat.
Hmm.
Um,
I also like that they didn't make the scary hallucination like an actual like thing, if you know what I mean. Like it was never like an actual monster.
yeah, a lot
It was very like vague. I don't know what the right word is.
like not like what like the opposite of what they did in Spider-Man, when Mysterio, like that scene where Spider-Man's like
Oh,
go
you're right.
it's
Hmm.
like the opposite. I mean, I like that scene and all, but yeah, it's not like a horror movie. This isn't a
Yeah.
horror movie. So, this
It still like scared me and it had that effect, but like I like that it wasn't ever like
gory or
natural.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always yeah, and
It was just like unnerving.
yeah, and it never unnecessarily uses it. It only uses
Hmm.
the horror to either understand what the character is feeling or to convey a point.
Right.
So it's kind of by necessity. So
Yeah.
it doesn't like it doesn't try to do something like that. So that's good.
Hmm.
And yeah, just overall, even if you don't have schizophrenia, good messages here, very relatable
Yeah.
characters. Uh, very, very much enjoyed it. I mean, do you have anything else to say about it?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So, do you want to give it a number rating first, or
Sure.
go for
Sure.
it?
I will give it, I guess, a 7.5 because I thought it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I'll give it a 7.5 too. I think some people might think that's low
Mm-hmm.
because of what we are, saying, but really, I guess it's just a surprise factor, really, that it was
Right.
so good. I don't know, maybe an 8. Maybe I'll give it an 8. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Um,
I thought I would give it an 8, but I thought that was too high just because, like, sometimes it's a bit dull.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I was never bored, but
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. This movie it's just good.
It's good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between 7.58, depending on what I'm feeling that day.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But I can recommend this to basically, I guess, anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's very, very enjoyable. So,
Good watch.
yeah.
Worth it. Oh, would
Very,
you like to explain the Inception
yeah,
problem?
yeah, sure. So, this is the road that brought us to this movie. So, we were going to see Inception in IMAX. So, we came in, sat down in our seats, and there was, when we came in, there was like a behind the scenes thing playing. We
Mm-hmm.
couldn't hear any of the voices. And I was like, you know, some people in the theater were probably like, oh, it's supposed to be like that, just a montage. But I could tell
Right,
it's
right.
not
We got
supposed
a
to be like that.
professional here.
Yeah, we do have a professional. So I reported it right away. They didn't even try to do anything about it. And then somebody in front
Mm-hmm.
of us reported it like two more times before anybody did anything. But the movie started and still no talking, just background and some sound effects. Um, so then they restarted the movie, and again, uh, no talking. You
Mm-hmm.
could not hear the talking, but only the sound effects.
We were on this for like half an hour.
Yeah. This was an abridged version of this, but basically they said that they tried a couple more things, and they said the only way they could do it is to restart the whole system, which would take an hour. Oh, voice crack there, an hour. Um, and they're like that obviously couldn't work because that would conflict with the next showing. So they refunded
Mm-hmm.
our tickets and gave us free passes for our troubles
We
with
should have gotten the food, but
yeah, kind of, but it's still kind of a good deal because it was only $8.
yeah.
So we profited off of that, especially because this movie was more than $8. So
Right.
it actually kind of worked out. But um so yeah, and then we're like, okay, we'll see Inception later. We'll see
Yeah, because
this.
they had a 7 o'clock showing, and we tried to go at 3:30. So
Yeah,
then we saw this movie instead, and we're like, we'll just see Inception after this. And then we got out of this movie, and they were like, actually, IMAX is broken.
yeah, we could not see Inception that day. I would have rather, at least in the moment, not with the benefit of hindsight, but I would have rather seen Cutthroat City, which
Mm,
was playing in a smaller theater, but was like sold out, and there's only two other people in this like much bigger theater. So
right.
I find that funny. Sometimes they just get them all like that, but uh, yeah, I guess probably because people see the trailer and they're like, "Well, this is shit. I've
Yeah.
seen this before," and
The
that's
trailer's bad. The poster
is
is
bad.
bad, but the movie's good.
Yeah. Um. Yeah.
The characters only kiss like twice in the movie.
I
Like,
know. I know, and I think that's for the better. They don't overdo
yeah.
it.
But the whole poster is just them
Yeah,
like
I know.
kissing, and
It's
like
like
that's
so
not the
stupid.
movie.
Yeah. It, whatever. It's good. That's why I wanted to make this episode so bad because I feel like people like us um assumed wrong.
Hmm.
This this movie is better than Unhinged. Uh
Absolutely.
yes.
Absolutely.
This should be the big movie that they're advertising, but no. Unhinged. Um yeah, I don't even know what to say about that.
I don't know. This is what I needed after that awful shit show. So.
Yeah, Unhinged, and then the IMAX catastrophe. This was refreshing. So if you are gonna go back to theaters, don't see Unhinged. See a movie that's gonna remind you why you love movies. See Words on Bathroom Walls or
Hmm.
Cutthroat City because I think that's good, but we didn't see it. But I might see it on a later date. Probably won't review it because it's too late. But whatever. Anyway, so join us next week for we have three possible reviews. The Personal History of David Copperfield, which I'm seeing Thursday. New Mutants, the biggie, the one
Yay.
that's the only one that's guaranteed, which we're seeing Friday. That might be with Kay, that might be with Ayana. Yet to see it. It all depends on a bunch of factors, a bunch of scheduling stuff. But somebody's gonna be reviewing it. And maybe Feels Good Man, the Pepe documentary.
Mm.
That's supposed to be good. Not it's not like the Feels When No GF. It's like different. Um,
Ah. I see.
So, again, that was actually reviewed. It actually got into like Sundance and shit, this Pepe thing. So, I don't know. I definitely watch it. I think I might review it with Kay because he also reviewed Feels with no GF. So, compare and contrast. But there's definitely going to be something next week. So, yep. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Again, Movie Hopper shirts, info in the description.
They're cute.
Yeah, we have the concept design if you want to get in on that. Just text us. You'll be put into a remind. And, yeah. So, thank you guys for watching and goodbye.